Jeez. Oh my god, they're all over. What the heck? Hello and welcome back to the Aquatic News Network, where we bring the stories of the water to life. I'm Tommy, and today we journey beneath the surface of Vilarino de Furnas Reservoir in northern Portugal's Jerez National Park, where a 2,000-year-old village lies concealed beneath these ever-shifting waters and swirling silt. Our descent begins in near darkness, where seasonal melt reveals long-buried wooden canoe ribs and pottery shards carved by hands long gone. Each beam and broken pot shard offers a whispered echo of a settlement that once thrived on these banks. These ancient shorelines were highways for indigenous communities, canoes carved from old-growth timber, lashed together with spruce root, carrying families and traders on journeys of ceremony and commerce. Oral traditions speak of these currents as keepers of memory. When waters rise, they conceal not only land, but the stories of the people who carved their lives into these riversides. Back on solid ground, technicians employ laser scanning and photogrammetry to resurrect each fragment. Watch as dusty shards transform into vivid three-dimensional vessels, pottery rims snapped back into place, and canoe beams rejoined in virtual space. These ancient currents carry more than water. They bear the weight of human history. Each spring as meltwater reshapes this reservoir, we face a choice. Let the relics slip back into obscurity, or reach in and pull our shared past back out into the light. You can help safeguard these submerged treasures. Volunteer for underwater archaeology surveys in your community. Share shoreline photographs through a Submerged site app, or join local museum workshops on preserving waterlogged artifacts. Every effort brings another chapter of our collective story back from the brink. From the depths of Jerez National Park to the labs where digital archaeologists toil, the quest to remember our ancestors never ends. Keep watching the Aquatic News Network for more journeys into ancient currents, where every drop tells a story. Switch that. Hello, babies. Hello, Aquanauts. I'm Tommy, and you're watching the Aquatic News Network, where we bring the stories of the water to life. Today, we trade crashing waves for quiet creeks and ask a haunting question. Why have America's springtime serenades gone silent? Once you could hear 1,000 bullfrogs in the eastern woodlands, now barely a whisper. It's not just a soundscape fading, it's an ecosystem unraveling. Across the eastern U.S., streams from the Blue Ridge Mountains to upstate New York, spring peepers, wood frogs, and salamanders once turned dusk into an amphibian symphony. But recent audio surveys show a chilling trend, where scientists once clocked 50 calls per minute, now maybe one, maybe none. This isn't poetic loss, it's biological collapse. Amphibians are bioindicators. When they vanish, something's wrong with the water, the soil, the balance. Let's follow the stream upstream. Decades of agricultural runoff have loaded waters with pesticides like atrazine, chlorpyrifos, and neonicotinoids. They're designed to protect crops, but to amphibian larvae, they're more fatal than a predator. Atrazine alone has been shown to alter reproductive anatomy and disrupt hormone signaling in frogs at a minuscule, just 0.1 parts per billion. Some creeks test at 5 times that level after heavy rains. It's like programming a video character wrong from the start. They never even get a fair fight. But chemicals are only part of the story. Enter chytrid fungus. Scientific name, Batrachochytrium dendrobatidis, a global killer of amphibians. This microscopic parasite infects the skin, disrupting an amphibian's ability to absorb water and oxygen. For frogs, that's like losing lungs. For salamanders, it's death by suffocation. Recent field swabs show infection rates above 80% among bullfrogs in some monitored streams, and bullfrogs were once considered resilient. It moves fast, from a single colony to a mass die-off in 2 weeks. No fast forward button, no respawn. Thankfully, not everyone's sitting still. Across conservation centers from Michigan to Massachusetts, teams are breeding native amphibians in biosecure labs. They isolate uninfective gene lines, pair strong survivors, and raise thousands of larvae in carefully controlled tanks. These aren't your average aquariums, they're amphibian fortresses. Filtered water, fungicide protocols, genetic logs for every spotted salamander. Last year, one facility successfully released over 600 juveniles into a restored tributary cleared of pesticides and closely monitored for chytrid. Reproduction isn't just feel-good science, it's hope with legs. So what now? We can't reverse decades of contamination overnight, but every buffer strip planted, every reduced chemical load, and every clean stream pushes the needle in the right direction. And we don't need the frogs to belt out ballads, we just need them to survive. Call once and be counted. Amphibians aren't flashy, no scales, no fins, no headline-grabbing migrations, but their silence speaks volumes. Here's a way you can help crank up the volume. Support your local amphibian monitoring project or nature center. Oh my god, there's ants everywhere. Oh my god, they're all over. What the heck? Next story. Ants taking over the South. Back to this story. Replace pesticide-heavy landscape with native frog-friendly plants. Use an interactive frog call tracker to record audio from your nearest streams. Why? Because every sound matters. Because once the spring sang. And if we listen, act, and amplify, maybe one day they'll sing again. Thank you for being here. This has been the Aquatic News Network. Submerged truth, surface impact.
Here's the it never it makes me want to wag my when it comes I want to
Hey folks, we're getting into the viewer mailbag on this one, so we're going to jump right in. And our first letter, as I'm pulling this up for you, is from Lady Puddlewick in Nottingham, Finn. She asks, are the frog disappearances related to the ancient frog whistles found in Portugal? My great aunt swears she used to summon tadpoles in 1932. Well, Lady Puddlewick, your aunt may have been more of a bioacoustic pioneer than she realized. The frog whistle's frequency does seem to match mating calls from certain species, though we advise against backyard summoning until the frogs renegotiate their aquatic union contract. Letter number 2 from Professor Benthic, resident of the Submerged Library of Lisbon, says, I've analyzed the ceramic frog skin tiles using photonic resonance. They're not just decorative, they amplify underwater vibrations. Could ancient peoples have sung to the frogs? Well, Professor, that might explain why the wetlands are eerily silent today. Perhaps we've lost the songs or the frogs stopped listening. And then last, but certainly not least, from Tadpole Timmy, age 9. If frogs vanished to another world, he asks, could they write us letters back? Leave it to kids to make you think, folks. We're sealing this one in a bottle, Timmy, and tossing it into the marsh. If the frogs reply, we'll bring it straight to air. Stay tuned. That's it for this one, y'all. I'm going to go catch back and see what's going on in this apocalyptic world that we're living in. And until next time, save all the species you can, folks.